Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can paint with anything you like, but we recommend paintbrushes. Yes, paintbrushes, ladies and gentlemen, infinitely better than your nose, whisker hair, nose hair, ear hair, whatever you got going on. None of that shit. You could paint with it, but why would you? God damn it. All right, I am Menoth John. It is Sunday night. You tuned in to watch painting, and you got us instead. So I am, of course, the host of your show. I'm also the curator at www.pwmenothjohn.com, your source for random articles as well as painting and posting of the everything. We'll put shit up there. We don't even know what we're putting up there. We've also at the home of the podcast link if you care about that and want to listen to us on the audio. It doesn't suck. And I'm just going to get this stuff out of the way because now I'm framed in the camera. Now we're cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, up in the catbird seat, we call it the catbird seat here on the Painting with Menoth John show, is, of course, the mighty right hand of the organization, the El Capo, or whatever that means, the wind beneath my wings, Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday night, and it is a lovely day, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to see sun a little bit. For a while, I thought I was living in Seattle.
Nice. Yeah, that's Seattle things. It rains there, but at least you don't have to shovel it.
True enough. True enough.
It is no bueno when it comes to the snow. I'm happy that part of our year is over with, and we can now buckle down and get ready for skin cancer season.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
though surprising, we haven't really cracked low 80s yet here in Maryland. Shit.
Well, there you go.
Almost. It's totally crazy, this weather.
So, I'm going to tell you, Sassy Greyjoy just chimed in with a weather report from Detroit and says it was snowing there today. Are you sure it was snowing and it wasn't just the ash coming from the fire and brimstone of hell? Are you sure it wasn't that? Because it could have been.
Detroit, you never can tell.
You never can tell. We got a very exciting show for you lined up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to sell you the whole podcast, but you're only going to need the edge. And we're going to start it off, and we're going to start off with a beverage update because this time I'm not going to forget, goddammit. So I'm going to start out with, I'm starting off with a little bit of a taste of Canada. We got the old Sort of Liege going on here. This is like sticking a maple pancake right up your right up your butt. It is, it's some good shit right there. And I'm going to
pour. Why would you do that?
I don't know why you would do that.
Other hole, maple pancake, other hole.
Oh God, I keep on getting confused. And so we'll have a little Sort of Leashes off, and then, ladies and gentlemen, shit got real in Racine, because I got me some goddamn Warlock. This stuff is amazing. This is like stuffing a pancake up your butt too. This is 10% alcohol by volume, and it is an imperial stout brewed with pumpkin. I didn't think I could get this until next fall. Turns out all you have to do is ask, and they say, well, yeah, I can get that for you. It's like, fuck. I went all this time without being able to get any. So this is, I disagree. I've had the cream version. Pumpkin is where it's at. God bless you. We love you as a listener, but I'm going to disagree with you on this one. So what are you going to have for a beverage this evening, Mr. John?
Well, I'm polishing off my Captain Morgan's Cannon Blast rum for the shot, and then I'll follow it up with a force blow.
Nice. You know, force
'Cause
blows, ladies and
orange
gentlemen.
juice.
Have we told anybody what a force blow is recently?
Not recently, no.
Okay, so if you're a newer member of the Brushhead Nation, a force blow is the finest invention of the 2015 Painting with Menoth John season. It is Kraken. I would say 2, maybe 3 shot fingers of Kraken, and then orange juice. And you put it in a tumbler, and it should be a slightly brownish orange color, and it is delightful. It's like having an orange Julius. It'll fuck you up too, boy. I'm gonna tell you what.
I suggest 2 fingers to start. Don't go for 3 until you're used to it.
Indeed. All right, so Sword of Liege for you, the Cannon Blast, and to all the newer viewers, hey Ron.
Ron.
Oh man, I can feel that pancake open up my butt right now. That's some good shit right there. I could sit on a podcast and drink all night. I really could.
So speaking of alcohol, Al Marshall made up a batch of homemade apple pie moonshine.
Nice.
It was so much better than the store-bought stuff. It was crazy.
Nice. So he just wanted to do put Everclear with some apples, or what?
Well,
did
he got some moonshine, and then he just added the stuff to make it like apple pie moonshine. It was freaking amazing.
There you
Cinnamon
go.
and everything. Oh my god.
Nice. And just about
So
enough, and about enough to make your knees fall off, right?
I didn't have too much of it because I was over at his place. Wasn't sure where I'd have to drive home.
Yeah.
But man, it was tasty.
That'll see. That's what we're gonna, Painted with Menoth John experience, especially the Sunday night extravaganza. We're gonna tell you the best things to drink. That's not beer, because we're not gonna do that to the beer machine guys. We're gonna offer other alternatives. So, I'm excited about tonight. So tonight, we're pretty good at the beginning, but we don't show the end so much on this show. We do a lot of the base coating and all that kind of stuff, but we don't necessarily show you the finished product. So tonight, earlier this weekend, I was working on this guy. This is the Hand of Judgment, and he is base coated. So tonight we're going to be discussing a very important part of painting that is especially important for newer to medium level painters, and that's all I am, is a medium level painter. And that is the importance of washes and highlighting, because that's really the step that your model can really turn into something very beautiful. So we're gonna have that up on the old painting cam here in no time at all, and we'll start doing some painting and all that kind of stuff. But we have some business to take care of first, John.
Give him the business.
All right. So when are we gonna do the Chubby Bunny challenge? We gonna do it right away, or are we gonna wait?
Bloops.
Flippity bloops. All right. So just before I start painting and whatnot. Oh, flippity bloops. No, so I'm going to stop painting for that. Excellent.
That's right.
Excellent.
You can try and how much can you paint with marshmallows in your mouth?
Well, the answer is none. None at all. And there's a question here for Dirty Cricks player. What gold did I use for the Hand of Judgment? I used molten bronze for the majority of it from PP. It's lovely, but we'll get into that when we're doing the highlighting and stuff. But we do have sponsors on this show.
We do somehow.
The most important sponsors we have are, of course, the patrons. Because without the patrons, there would be none of the awesome that we have going on here these days. Making the move away from the Muson Minis network as we did, it did incur some costs. And we've got some new things going on with the new website. We've got that hosting, and turns out they want money for that stuff. So
I don't know what's up with that. Good Lord.
So the patrons are our number one supporters. They're the ones that we really appreciate on this. And we have a new one to announce tonight. Literally came in under the wire. Kyle Matsky pledged at the $2 level, so he'll be getting a Swank Painting with Menoth John sticker. Had he gone, or should he choose in the future to move up to the $5 level, he will be eligible for the Crony Inner Circle bottle opener. Yes, you'll see my right hand right now has the Swank sticker in front of him. I'm holding the Crony Inner Circle bottle opener / disguise. You could go up to the East Coast Rumble if it was there, and you could wear this, and people will go, "Who's that?" And they won't know but they'll know that you're a crony and you're in the inner circle of the Painting with Men Off John show. Also, little known fact, it's a design known as a knuckle cracker. So if you're a bartender, you can crack some knuckles with this. It's amazing. You can put it on a lasso, put it around your neck, wear it as some badass jewelry.
It's magnetic. You can put your chip clips on it too.
Shit, yeah. You could have this up in the air, and you could have a bag of chips hanging in front of you, and they'd think, "Oh my God, it's a big bag of chips coming at me," which could be scary, could be delicious. So it's all those things, and all you have to do is get on over to www.patreon.com/menothjohn. John, we're going to take the kind of money that jingles, but we prefer the kind that folds. And
Absolutely.
we will appreciate you, if it's even possible, we'll appreciate you more as a patron. Patrons, they get special things. They get to listen to that the audio from the pre-ramble, that 30 minutes that happens before the spectacular. And then they're going to get access to one of the most well-appreciated new things that's happened here on Painting with Men Off John, and that's the co-host corner, right, John?
That's right. As soon as I get around to making another one, which probably won't happen until after Mark 3 drops, because rumor is when you're going to have the main focus of your little cast be dojo, and they kind of throw all that out, you can't really dojo.
No, it makes dojo just a whole lot less useful.
It does.
So but that's going to be a thing, and we never know what we might do. We could put pictures of a goat on there, and people would have exclusive ability to look at a goat. So there you go.
Oh,
who knows what could be up there?
Goats come up this week.
You never know. Well, goats are popular right now. They're hot. They're very hot. And we could put that up there, and people could look at John and John's hot goat. So there you go. I wasn't sure where to go with that one.
That went horrible.
Yeah,
Quick, save us! Flight Medic Painting Studio.
Okay, yeah, Flight Medic Painting Studio. He's gonna paint shit for you. He's got red paint. He's got washes. He's got other colors than red. And if you ask him to paint something for you, this guy, he's on the hobby hangouts. He's their Saturday anchor. And so if you want to see him and give him the business, Flight Medic Painting. And then also, if you're looking for some terrain, John, Mark 3's coming. Time to load up on that goddamn terrain.
Yep, they increased a little bit for steamrollers, and we all play steamrollers, or at least with those rules.
A lot of us do. And with what Legion can't see through anymore? Trees.
Metric forests.
Metric forests. Adam at Greenleaf Terrain, he'll make a metric forest that's just big enough for you and not big enough for anybody else. You just have to tell him how big to make it. And if you go to Adam at Greenleaf Terrain, he's going to hook you up. And so get on over there, and you could put some you could put some bastions in there. You could put some like the Olgren assault core in there. And who's not going to see it? Legion. So there you go. And if you get them all in there, shit, +2 defense. So there you go. Completely in. None of this towing in shit when you're from Canada. Canada is known as the country of all in. So there you go. At least they are now. So and then we can't talk about stuff that's all in without talking about KR Multicase, because if you put your models in there, the first thing that you're going to hear when that model slips into that sweet blue Butafoam is going to be your model saying, ah. It's like slipping into something that you'd slip into that feels really good. Yeah, it's like slippers, but better. But with butter.
My comfy blue pants I'm wearing.
Right. It's like comfy blue pants with butter in them. So, that's KR Multicase. Get on over there to KR Multicase. Tell them Menoth John sent you. They'll probably not give you a discount, but I'd appreciate it. Clockwork Phoenix Games, they make games. And this is a company that is run by our good friend, Mr. David D.C. Carl, also seen on The Joy of Painting, or Playing, I should say. The Joy of Playing. The Joy of Painting is a different show.
It is.
The Joy of Playing. And he's going to be making some card games for Steamforged Games, who's probably not going to have time to do anything from the next 6 years but try to fulfill the Dark Souls board game Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's for a game I've only barely heard of. That thing went crazy.
Yeah. Turns out people, and I looked at it. I actually backed this thing because I don't need to play the game for 2.5 years, because that's how long it's going to take them to get this thing out. But it looks really fun. It looks really easy to play, and it looks exciting. It looks like it's going to um, simulate a third-person dungeon crawl. Pretty cool. So that's but Clockwork Phoenix Games, they're working on a card game based in the Guild Ball universe. So there you go. If you want sweet shit from Clockwork Games, look for that card game's coming out. And that's about it for the sponsors, John.
Yep, that's about it.
I got to finish this Sword of Liege.
Oh, so some fun gaming news for anyone who even just cares a little bit. The next book for Infinity just dropped, Human Sphere version 3, third edition. Lots of rules updates. It's available for free. PDF download on their website.
Nice. I wonder where that all started, giving away rules for free.
I really don't know. Infinity is one of the first that I knew that did it. I don't know.
Man.
I'm sure someone did it beforehand.
Yeah, that's really super awesome, cool. And
Plus, I mean, they make a good enough quality book that you want to buy the book for. I mean, not gonna throw stones at PP's fluff. PP's fluff is decent, but Infinity is like next level.
Yeah, I have to. I'll probably download it just to read it, see how that stuff goes.
Well, they actually don't put the fluff in there. That's their sneaky bits.
Oh,
the fluff's only in the real books.
Oh, they're gonna give you the taste.
They give you a taste of the rules because, like, hey, you want to play? Here's your rules.
Nice.
Plus, they have an online army builder that's pretty good. They just unleashed a app that you can put on your phone that should connect you to it. We'll see how that ends up going.
Super sweet.
Probably work better than the current version of War Room on my iPod.
Uh-oh. No bueno?
Yeah, still doesn't work.
Oh, that's too bad.
Shrug.
Hopefully they'll get it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, my iPod's kind of long in the tooth. So
Yeah, I hear you.
I kind of understand. I'm not holding it against them. Literally, it's the lowest version they still technically support.
No. Still, I mean, it'd be nice if it would work on that.
Yeah, if not, then I've been looking to get a new iPod or something maybe.
Cool.
We will see.
Well, John, do you think we should get to the old painting thing here?
Let's get to some content.
All right, we're going to bring up the painting cam now. And this is, of course, not everybody has a painting cam, John.
True.
And, we're a painting show, so we have a painting cam. And not every show has a blue glove of love.
Oh, the return.
The return of the blue glove of love, folks. So there it is, in case you wanted it on the audio section there, too. So we've got the blue glove of love here, and we all know that means that we're going to do exciting stuff here tonight. So here's the model as we have it so far. This is the Hand of Judgment, and I went with this is a color scheme that was based on this one. So as you know, you can see that it has some relevance to the other one, and you have it's lots of sanguine, lots of darker colors. In the case of the Hand of Judgment, what I've done is I've gone with coal black. And the reason I went with coal black is because I wanted to show off some shading and some highlighting on this one. And I've always been told that if you want to paint black, you should paint coal black first, and then you can darken it and you can lighten it. So that's what I'm going to hopefully do here without screwing up my model tonight.
That's right. Apparently, the key to painting good deep black is to not paint black.
Right. So I'm not sure how to do this. This is going to be somewhat of a journey of discovery tonight here, John. And I'm going to try and do most of this with washes and maybe a little bit of blending over here in the wet palette. Because remember, folks, if you're a sort of a medium level or even a beginner painter, if you really want to next level yourself, get yourself one of these wet palettes because they can really help you with blending and stuff like that. So we're going to get the Blood of Martyrs out of here, and we're going to go ahead and start working on this. The first step that I usually do when I'm doing some shading with washes is I'm going to work. I've developed kind of a painting color scheme that I kind of like, and that is I started off here with this. This is what the hell color did I say it was? Molten bronze. And what I found with the golds that I really like is I like to use Citadel's Reikland Earthshade. Not Earthshade, Reikland Flesh Shade. And the reason I like that one is because it does pull to a reddish kind of tinge while still darkening. And I'm hopefully going to be able to do a decent job of showing this on the camera. I'm going to try and move my camera up a little bit just so that it's a little bit more zoomed in here. Because what could possibly go wrong with this, John? All right, I could never
Oh,
possibly knock this over and just make a mess out of it. So
Murphy's ears just perked up like, oh,
I know, right?
really?
I know, right? So I'm doing this with my Raphael 8404 uh, 01 here, and I'm just gonna for this one I'm just gonna catch my golds here, and I'm gonna just darken them up a little bit. And you know, one of the things that I'm not concerned about is if I get a little bit on my coal black there, I'm not really super concerned because I'm gonna be coming with even a darker color after that, and it's not like this Reichland Flesh Shade is a super deep color. It just kind of pulls it to a little bit warmer touch, and I like it to pool a little bit in the recesses because that's generally where you're going to have a little bit more color from shading. So we're just going to come on with this, and we're going to come around here and do all this kind of stuff, and that's what I'm going to do here for about the next 5 minutes or so while John starts and I kind of banter a little bit about what the hell we've been up to.
Well, I actually got to play a game this week. I know.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Trollton Heston's brother was at Game Stuff looking for a game, and there was no one to play, so I just popped on home, grabbed my stuff, and came in.
Nice.
And we got a game. He was playing his Kador. He is a whole ton of Kador he got from another local who needed to get out of it, but at least it's still in the area and still getting some love.
Yeah, that's sad when that happens.
Yeah, well, kids do it to people, and sometimes you just gotta take a break from stuff. But it's all good. And so since I didn't have anything really built and ready, I did what any great mind would do. I grabbed all my caster cards, shuffled them up, had someone random, in this case, not Brush, had the Jason, cut the deck, and that's the caster I played.
Nice. Who'd you end
Ended
up
with Magnus the Warlord.
That's Magnus 2, right?
2. Yes.
Yep.
And I just pretty much grabbed one of the lists I've been playing for a while with him when I was testing him out. Some minor changes because in one case I'm dumb, and in another case I didn't have my Mangler with me because I took it apart to make a Renegade.
Okay.
Because the legs are much beefier than those tiny, wimpy Renegade legs.
I was just going to say, it's like, wait a second here. That's not an interchangeable kit, but that makes a lot of sense.
Pictures are coming. Pictures are coming of that in the future.
Sweet.
So it's pretty much it's Magnus, Wishnailer, because you have to have Wishnailer with Magnus. It's an unfortunate fact of having an upkeep you one up all the time in Bullet Dodger and an offensive upkeep that you really want to hit.
Yeah.
That Wishnailer becomes pretty much a necessity for him. If you're going to try and use Calamity at all, and if you're not using Calamity, you're darn crazy.
Calamity's amazing.
And the normal list is him, the Wishnailer, a Nomad, a Mangler, and a Renegade. The Mangler was at home, so I replaced it with a Rover. Then it's full Chaos the Assassins, full Boom Howlers, Rupert, Eris 2, some of the usual suspects, Gorman, Orin Midwinter, and it's supposed to have Kel Balok in the list, but I didn't pull him out, so I played 2 points down.
Well, there you go. That happens.
Which is unfortunate since there were Iron Fang pikemen hanging out on the other side, and he'd been very useful to kill them.
Yes, he would have.
But so my opponent played with Urisk 2. He also had full Chaosi. He had full Black Dragon Iron Fangs. He had full Winter Guard, but no Joe. And no Rockets, actually. So just max unit with UA, I guess, a Winter Guard. He had a Devastator and a Kodiak, Manhunter, and then what the hell are things? The Grey Lord Turnian.
Okay.
Long story short is I lost some Chaosi because I forgot about Vent Steam from the Kodiak, and my damage rolls on him were not very good. On the other hand, Boom Howlers absolutely crushed the Iron Fangs because of Calamity. When you're rolling in, even with all their bonuses, and you're like, well, Eris kills this one, making that guy now have no bonus. And you're going, I'm effectively POW 14, so I need 9s to kill?
Yeah.
I got a lot of 9s. There are a lot of guys wouldn't have died if it wasn't for Calamity. So that spell is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Rover went head to head with the Kodiak and a bunch of other stuff. He ended the game with 1 box left,
Nice.
so he was still functioning. My Kazi, even with the loss of a bunch of them, still had 1 left into the game, making a nuisance of himself, stabbing random dudes, poking Wishnailer in the knees. Gorman the Wolf ended up dying, but boy, he was a baller. And I didn't even throw a blind grenade once.
Was he throwing
No
acid
black
bomb?
oil. Acid bombs. Holy
Yeah.
moly. It's like, acid bomb, there's 3 Kazi dead. Acid bomb, there's 4 more Kazi dead. He was out of control.
Yeah, he's the natural predator of Kazi with that acid bomb.
And Ord Midwinter were just hanging out midfield, and, Eris likes to cast some spells. So it's like, power token. I boost to hit that particular member of the Winter Guard, and D3 leaps. Like, I was using them for their offensive output, not all their other stuff, and they were both pretty baller.
Nice.
We ended when he realized he wasn't going to win the game because he had I just wrecked the Devastator with Magnus. He didn't realize armor piercing with Magnus was a thing.
Yes,
Not Devastator, the Kodiak. Sorry. He had the Devastator, a Grey Lord Turnian, no Winter Guard, 2 Kazi, and Irisk left. And I had about 4 Boomhowlers, 1 Kazi. Other than that, my only casualty was Gorman. Then again, that Rover wasn't going to be doing much anymore, but he was still alive.
Indeed.
And the Nomad was fully functional. He did his last gasp. The Devastator opened up, ended up not even crippling a system on the Nomad, and then he shook hands because he knew how that was going to end.
Yep.
And what I learned from that game is, man, Calamity is super good. God, I hope he keeps it. And if we'd played new rules, my army would have been devastating.
Yeah.
There were so many turns I had to give out focus to all those jacks that would have been so much better if I could have just... every turn I'm like, God, if I just had 1 focus each, it'd be great. Well, also, having the Mangler instead of the Rover in this particular battle would have been exceptionally great because I would have counter-deployed him against Iron Fangs and been like, tee-hee, tee-hee.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna look back after Mark III drops and think back to a lot of casters that were ostensibly written to be jack casters, but we could never figure out how to get them to work because they would be, especially the Focus 6 jack casters,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna look back and go, wow, these guys are just amazing.
Yeah, Magnus is one of those rare points where he's actually both. You can sit back and just be, a jack caster, and that you can use your arc and dark spells. Actually, a little bit of both. I played him kind of midfield. Actually, he was almost on the center line. He was within a couple inches of the center line every turn of the game after the first, because he's got just good enough stats to get himself killed. So why not? There's also a nice forest in the center that my opponent had put there, and I'm like, I'm going to use it for everything it's worth. Just hide there. He didn't have any Pathfinder, which was his mistake, but we worked on that afterwards. No, it was good. It does show me how that could work. I did end with an Obliterator rocket still unfired.
Whoa, there you go.
Sometimes the opportunity doesn't happen. He just ran around going, I'm an arc node. What's up? Having a POW 16 gun in your pocket at the end of the game is never a bad thing.
No, that's very true, because you might get that one opportunity where it's like, well, that just completely sealed the deal for an assassination run.
Yep. He also did a good job of cluttering up with Turnian clouds and dudes in the way, so it would have been really hard to get a good shot on Irisk. Most of the time I'd have to settle for trying to hit a def 16 bob and weave concealed Winter Guard instead of hitting him. So I said, yeah, just not worth it. It might have done a number on the Winter Guard, but might not have.
Yep.
And I wasn't going to try and put Calamity on them because their stats just aren't good enough most of the time to warrant it.
Cool.
So there you go. There was my game. Might be my last game. Who knows? He's going to be around next week. We'll see what ends up being.
Yeah, I did not get a game in last week either. Well, either. You got a game in, I didn't. But it was just a matter of I was deciding at that point that I wanted to do, I wanted to make progress on this model so that I could show something off on the show.
Mhm.
But it was one of those things where I kind of spent some time with Chuck and hung out, and it was super sweet. This is here we are with I'm taking the blue glove off because it's making my hands sweat. I've now done a Reichland Flesh Shade wash on all the bronze, on all that molten bronze, and as you can see, what it does is it does a really nice job of kind of warming up that bronze color a lot, and I really like how it turns out. Now, the thing that you got to do when you're at this step in your painting is that you really need to be patient. You really can't rush this step. This is one where if you're going to have another model that you're going to be painting, get it out and start painting a different model, because if you rush with washes and they start working into each other, you will not get anything like the effect you were hoping for. You will get a muddy mess, and you'll hate yourself. So we are going to put this to the side here, and we're going to switch back up to the face cam because we don't want to have a little face cam. And I think, John, that this would be an appropriate time for the Chubby Bunny challenge.
It could be. I actually want to have one extra note on the blue glove. If you look at an alternative, potentially to Blue Glove of Lub, that's just a one-time purchase, I will be reviewing something along that lines as soon as my damn web camera comes in, or a new digital camera comes in.
Super nice. So, yeah, you got a new camera coming in, and if you want to know more about that camera thing, get over there to PwMJ John. And, in fact, I'm even going to put it up here for those of you who are... There it is. Boom. I'm going to make it flash because I can. There you go.
There you go. And if you guys have any ideas for articles or content of any kind, you guys should email us.
Yeah. We like
pwmidouthjohn@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. Tell us what you want to see.
we like people that suggest content because then we don't have to think so hard.
Well,
Now-
plus we're giving you what you want to see, what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Boom.
People are asking me if I got a fancy glass for the Warlock. No, I'm just going high. I'm just going hardcore with it. I'm drinking the whole bomber tonight. Fuck that.
And one last note with letting the washes dry too, since I just thought of it, is it's good to have multiple models and multiple I guess stages.
Indeed.
I like to have models that I'm just dry brushing or something, getting their bases ready, while I'm painting another model. That way, there's something else to work on, something mindless, and I don't have to put any thought into it. You can actually have other models in higher stages than that, but it's a lot easier to have something like that.
Absolutely. So I think at this point, John, we probably ought to. You want to start doing some early flippity bloops, or should we do the Chubby Bunny challenge right away?
I think we should do the Chubby Bunny Pat challenge.
All right, let's do this.
Before we do that, we'll throw it out there. It was a flippity boop from Jeff Easterwood, who wanted to know how many marshmallows can you fit in your mouth and say Chubby Bunny.
Exactly.
Now, chat room, I want you guys to throw some guesses out there.
Yeah, let's see some guesses before we get started on this. Remember,
I will warn you guys. I have done some testing, so I have an idea of what the tolerance for marshmallows in mouth and saying Chubby Bunny might be.
so let's be on it. Let's be clear here. What we're talking about here.
200. Holy crap!
So they think we have big mouths, which is not untrue. These are the standard size jet puffed marshmallows we're talking about right here. This is standard craft jet puffed. They are not the jumbo ones that you will sometimes see. For those of you who are wondering at home, they are 100 calories for 4. A surprisingly low calorie snack if you think about it, John.
That's true. It's true. It's because there's a lot of air inside.
Indeed. 30 grams of milligrams of sodium, not 30 grams. 30
I
milligrams.
was waiting for the over 9,000.
Yeah. Very nice. We have it's 17 grams of sugar. So they're only about 50% sugar. That's interesting. The ingredient list is corn syrup, sugar, dextrose, modified cornstarch, water, contains less than 2% of gelatin, tetrasodium phosphate, which is a whipping aid. Whip it good. So for those of you with possibly some more adult leanings or hobbies, if you are looking for a whipping aid, we recommend here at the Painting with Mouth John show tetrasodium pyrophosphate. Natural and artificial flavor, and blue number 1. If you're gonna blow anybody, blow number 1. Blue number 1. All right, so there you go. I'm gonna open up my bag of these. Who goes first?
Who would you like to go first, sir?
I will go first.
Roger that.
All right. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to stick a marshmallow in my mouth, and then I'm going to say Chubby Bunny, and we will continue to say that until someone calls shenanigans on my pronunciation of Chubby Bunny, and then John will go, and the safety word is not marshmallow. I don't know what it is, but it's not marshmallow. Okay, so
The safety word is a Technicolor yawn. That's the point where you're done.
I got a bucket over here. So
Good.
All right. So
I'm gonna have to suck it up.
okay. So here goes number 1. Chubby Bunny.
Hey,
Chubby Bunny. I got this fucking nailed. Chubby Bunny. It was a little harder.
yeah.
Chubby Bunny.
That was at 4.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Chubby Bunny.
That might be the limit. I might have to call shenanigans after that one.
Okay, one more. One more. Chubby Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shenanigans on that one.
uh-huh.
So five's the limit, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm not one for drawing this out. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Wait a second. How many was that? 3? That was 5. Holy shit.
See, your mouth's bigger than mine.
Yep, I couldn't quite get the 5 out there. So there you go, folks. How many Jet Puff marshmallows can you eat and still say Chubby Bunny? If you're a big mouth like Menoth John, 5. If you're not as big a mouth like John Spencer, 4.
Ooh.
Hey, you did one better than in practice, man. Still working on
I knew
it.
5 wasn't going to work for me.
Yeah. I was working pretty hard with the yes, I do spit, thank you. I was working pretty hard with the tongue on that one. So these are not bad.
No, I wouldn't want to eat more than
5.
10 in a day,
Yeah.
which I'm already at.
Yeah, don't do that. Nobody needs that kind of hit to your insulin. Like your pancreas is yelling for mercy.
Come on, man. I used to run a game store. Cotton candy and Jolt Cola for breakfast.
Good point. Good point.
How I do not have diabetes, I have no fucking idea. Luckily, I got good genes, apparently.
Here's your genes, Ron. So we did it. God damn it, we got that one out of the way.
Oh, God. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea. All right,
Orange, anything based with orange juice after a bunch of marshmallows. Ah.
not so sweet.
All right, keep them entertained. I need to get something to clear the palate.
All right, so I'm looking back here, and the nice thing about these Citadel washes is that they dry pretty quick. So here we go. I'm going to back this back out here a bit. So here he is, and they are pretty much all dry. Oh, still got a little bit wet up on the top. So we got to let that dry a little bit longer. But the next stuff we're going to be doing here is we're actually going to be hitting the Agrex Earthshade. Generally, my my order of operations is I'm going to do the Flesh Shade first, then I'm going to do the Agrex Earthshade, then I'm going to come back with the Nolan Oil. And that's the order that I do it in. You know, and right now, the one that's not dry yet is in an area all by itself. So I'm thinking I'm going to be okay to go after with the Agrex Earthshade. Oh man, those things were chalky.
Yeah, they were. They're a lot better in hot chocolate.
Yeah. So how many glasses of hot chocolate can you drink and still say Chubby Bunny? There you go.
That's a good question. I don't have any hot chocolate here. It's all at work.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna start this, and actually with the Agrex Earthshade, I even like to use it on the. Oops, where's my blue glove of love? Gotta put it back on. Gotta paint safe, folks. All right, so we got this on here. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. I even like to put a little bit of this Agrax Earthshade on the Sanguine because I just think that
you're gonna say in my beer.
no. I think that it darkens the Sanguine a little bit nice, and then it gives a good start on the shade for in each of the different little folds of cloth. You just gotta be a little careful you don't go too crazy with it. And the other thing that's important when you're painting with this stuff is that you keep track of where the hell it all is that you've been painting, and that you don't forget places.
Oh, that's so no bueno.
What's that?
We'll get it in a second when we start flippity bloops. But let me just say, the best thing at taking a shot of Kraken to clear the palate. If you don't drink the whole shot, you can just pour it in your force blow.
Boom! Then it's an enhanced force blow.
That might not even be my. It's a boosted force blow, sir. Boosted.
There you go. Thank you. Is that would that be boosted to hit or damage?
Damage.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. See, that's John. John, that's why you're such a perfect freaking co-host for this. You're just ready for it.
Oh, I've been said I have a reasonably quick wit.
And
but I'm not sure the extra shot of Kraken is going to be the highlight of my night. That might not be a bright idea.
Well, we're going to live with our mistakes. That's, it's important, folks. This is the Painting with Men Off John show, goddammit. And, we are going to take credit and responsibility for our mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just some of the shit we offer on this show. I think I should figure out a way to make the lighting a little worse for this show. I'm not sure how, though.
I do think you need to look into another light or something. It's a little bit dark. Maybe one over the shoulder, coming down a little bit, or maybe over the front, which would probably cause glare in your eyes and suck.
I'm going to tell you what. Now that I've changed the desk arrangement here, I now can have a lamp behind me, and that would be like coming over my shoulder would be super sweet and totally legit.
Yeah, well, take a look at it. I mean, that's we change stuff up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what your Patreon dollars go towards, believe it or not, is we try to improve the show in any way that we possibly can, because sliding backwards isn't an option, and because how could it be worse? And we look to invest in things. The first stuff that we did was we came through with the computer that made us not hate ourselves every time we turned on the show. I mean, once I got off of that crappy ass Apple laptop, the show stopped. It sucked at least 65% less. And now we're talking about upping our game a little bit here and actually having to be able to see what the hell I'm up to.
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
That's
but
crazy.
We're not afraid to mix it up. We're not afraid to make mistakes, because you cannot be afraid to make mistakes in painting, podcasting, or life.
That's the philosophical shit people turn in every week for this shit.
That's how you get better. If you don't make mistakes, it's really, really hard to get better.
Absolutely. Man, I bet you they can't see anything that I'm doing. This lighting is piss poor.
It's not horrific. It's just a little rough.
Angle this a little
Actually,
bit.
It looks like coming over your right shoulder would be perfect, because that whole area there is a little dark.
Yep, and that's where the camera's picking up from too, which is I'll figure it out for the next week, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time since I've really had to figure something out for this show, and we're going to get that figured out for you.
There you go.
So is it ready to ask some questions or some shit, or what are we going to do here tonight?
Sure. Let's hit some questions. We only have a handful from today.
That's all right. Let that, people in the chat room contribute. Bring it.
Yeah, well, they started it up. Trolton Heston, how many shots of Kraken can you have and still say Chubby Bunny?
Oh, no, we're not doing that challenge. Man, I got to work the next day.
I also have to work tomorrow. I could come in late. I did technically take a half day tomorrow, but I don't think I'm coming in on time.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that one.
Yeah, no. Tell you what, we'll find out live on the 13th.
There you go.
You and me, Trolton Heston. You and me.
Yep. So in case people,
I'll bring the bottle. You just make sure you got a place to sleep.
We didn't talk about that? That was on the pre-ramble that we talked about that, wasn't it?
Yeah. We have to make sure it's all good and there,
Okay.
but we might be streaming some stuff on the 13th.
There you go.
the Pillars of Salt as a mega group are getting together, and we all took days off work to hang out and have a good time and peruse rules, maybe play some games.
There you go. All right, man. Hit me with some flippity bloops.
The next one is Kev Bryant. In Mark III, will there be a new P3 watch called Meleth John Troll Blood Flesh?
Man, I'll tell you what. If there was, I'd buy that but it's probably unlikely. I mean, my status with PP has always been and will always continue to be tenuous. So I don't think that they're going to name something after me. They'll probably take credit for it. They'll probably call it Will Schickwash, and it'll probably it'll be something a different color. But it won't be that purple that you can get by using the what the hell is this shit? The
off Nightshade.
Druishi Violet.
Druishi Violet, yeah.
Yeah, and
Nightshade's blue, John, bad John.
Yeah, and also Gilliman Blue. You have to start with the Gilliman Blue, then you follow it up with the Druishi Nightshade, and that is super legit and totally sweet if you want purple trolls that you don't want to hate yourself having to actually paint it. So
absolutely.
So there you go.
All right.
It'd be nice if
the next one. Trollton Heston again.
That guy.
What are the chances MTV reboots Airwolf like they did with that old classic Teen Wolf?
Low.
I'm going to kill you. I just want you to know that.
Wow.
I'm going to kill you. He's trolling me.
Hey, that's all right. We don't have... Bonzi doesn't seem to love us anymore, so what the hell?
That's true.
That guy.
No, they're not going to reboot. You cannot have a teen version of Airwolf or an MTV version of Airwolf because no.
I can see that though. It'd be like this
horrible.
It'd be like this ridiculous group of millennials that couldn't be bothered with coming out, and they would fly around in this terrible hat. It'd be terrible.
Ernest Borgnine is spinning in his grave.
Yeah, exactly. Ernest Borgnine.
Thinking about that. Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, hey, Ron. That guy.
That guy is legit. Been in a lot of good things. All right. So, DM Lich wants to know, would you eat chicken served from a fully AI and robotic automated KFC? Because apparently one went live in Shanghai April 25th.
Really? That was my idea. And they went and stole it from me, those fuckers. I don't know. It doesn't seem like robotic chicken's that hard to pull off, and his place is cleaner than the KFC here in Racine. That place will kill you.
It'll serve fresh, and the KFC no longer here in Glen Burnie because it's no longer here.
There you go.
I'd give it a shot.
Why not, right?
You gotta try something. Come on.
So does that mean it's got that one kid, the AI kid, that serves it to you or something?
I don't even know how it's served. I would at least have to see how it's done.
There you go.
All right. Next terrible question.
Exactly.
Food related still. I'll skip I'll put the content ones at the end. Let's get some food related. Dirty Cricks player wants to know, would you try a burger that has peanut butter and jelly on it?
Peanut butter and jelly hamburger?
On a burger.
Man, that's fucked up. No.
Remember how I said I'd try everything twice?
Yeah.
You would immediately make me regret that, but I would try it.
Wow. No. No.
You never know, man. Sometimes you get that taste sensation.
Nobody wants the big greasy burger taste right next to that. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the burger would have to be very well seasoned. Almost on the salty thing, so you sort of get the savory and sweet together.
That model's got
a little bit of the cream in between. Nix the cheese, no ketchup or any of that stuff. It would have to be like burger patty, peanut butter, jelly, and nothing else.
Fuck that shit. No.
You'd have to try that shit.
No. All right.
So back to.
So I put the model away. It's got a bunch of Agrax Earthshade on it. It's got to wait. It's got a cure time.
Patience is a virtue.
Wait, I missed a spot. I got to put some more Agrax Earthshade because this model doesn't have enough. I think I've doubled the weight in the model in Agrax Earthshade.
Oh, he says he'll buy a PB&J burger from the Griffin if we go to Buffalo Food Machine. Well, that's a bonus, right?
Well, there's reason to believe that could be at Buffalo Food Machine. So there's reason to believe. Now keep hope alive. That's it's not for sure yet, but I'm thinking about it.
I'm still thinking about it too, especially since this fell through. But hey, the whole ECR. Because though like we said, that they did have 2 stores sponsor the Masters, but I'm not going just for a Masters. That's not my main goal.
No, that's not the way we fly here on the Pain with Mouth John show.
This is not how we roll, so to speak.
And if you're on a roll, you must be Butter. And that brings up, of course, KR Multicase. John, KR Multicase, they're a sponsor of ours.
They are.
That's right. You can put your model in a KR Multicase bag, and if paint falls off of it, they're going to be sad. They're gonna feel deep sorrow for you, as will I. And I will even send you a personal note of apology, not on behalf of KR Multicase, but on behalf of myself, because I think that KR Multicase is the home of the Butterfoam, and nothing is better than putting on a pair of comfy pants filled with butter. So there you go. Moving right along.
Back to food, because they're all in on the foods here.
God bless them.
They said peanut butter and bacon burger. I'm like, okay, that might work because it gives you the savory. And then someone says chicken fried bacon.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure how you pull it off, but that sounds delicious.
I gave it a shot. Hell, I love chicken fried steak.
Well, I mean, what's wrong? It's okay. So it's batter coated bacon and then deep fried.
Yeah.
Oh, how could it be bad? I mean, let's be honest.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell, put that on the peanut butter and jelly bacon burger. Shit.
Yeah, possibly. It'd be like a kid's meal, though. If you think about it, you roll up on if you got the chicken fingers, you could probably have the chicken fried bacon, and kids would roll up on that shit hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Back to War Machine.
Yeah.
Cactor315 wants to know thoughts on the new Eris 1.
Oh, she's delightful.
Yeah,
she's delightful. She's going to be a very useful piece. I think you'll see her on the table a lot more than you saw her in the original one. The ability to strip Fury, which was kind of Eris 3's deal. It makes me wonder kind of what Eris 3 is going to be like, because she's going to have to be different. And what you've got there with Eris 1 is heading in the same direction as Eris 3. So we'll see how it goes. I'm glad I have one. I'm glad she's painted up. I'm glad she plays for factions I'm probably going to play in Mark 3.
Absolutely. She looks pretty good. I was a little bit upset that they don't let you choose the column anymore with Deathbolt, but
yeah,
that's probably a good way to make sure Jackson Beast become more the focus.
I don't disagree. There you go.
All right. And then next we go with what's the best spoiler so far?
Best spoiler so far. I am going to say Gareth. I think Gareth is probably the biggest bump in his lethality that I can think of. Although it's close with Deadeye on Ossian.
Yeah.
Deadeye on Ossian is kind of wrong, because now we have assaulting Invictors with keeping their snipe mini feet with Deadeye. That's going to kill some shit right dead.
And still his feet is pretty similar to what it was, so.
Yep. So.
Could be crazy.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm leaning towards bringing Rhett to Mark 3, because I think that I've played a couple of Mark 2.5 games where I've played some of the new rules that were released, and I played an all-in on Jack's version of Viros 2, and that shit was crazy talk. That was super fun. So
synergy capping at 3 makes it a little more fair, but
yeah,
that's still plenty.
And that wasn't even how I was playing that list. It was just I had Moros in there, and I had Gorgon doing stuff, because all of a sudden the Gorgon's legit as shit now. So I'm all in. I love it. I think they're going to be, exactly. Rave Bomb hit it right on the head. Mage Hunter Strike Force plus ASEAN. It's now called Deadeye Feet Go instead of Snipe Feet Go.
Yeah, but it's got a significantly reduced range with that, and with the change to their abilities, it's not what it used to be. So keep the pitchforks and torches down.
Mhm.
No need to break them out yet.
No, it's just a different version, and I think it's cool. I'm really looking forward to playing me some Rhett and Mark, at least until they break my heart enough times in a row that I go back and play something different. But there was an earlier question about where I'm landing, and I had kind of talked a little bit about it earlier in the show. Probably a listener that had tuned in a little bit later.
Yeah, it kept so.
I'm really torn right now between Protectorate and the Retribution. I'm probably going back to playing me some War Machines for a while rather than Hordes, because I couldn't. I was so tired of the frustration associated with the allocation process that it was just driving me crazy. John, as we look here at what's going on with the show here tonight, and we're going to be done at 8:00. I'm probably not going to get to the highlighting part of this model tonight, just because what I am going to do, though, however, is I'm going to tape, not stream, the highlighting of the Hand of Judgment, and I'm going to rework the lighting and get it so it doesn't suck, and so people can actually see it. And I will put that up onto the I'll put that out as a Patreon exclusive for our listeners.
There you go.
So if you want to see the Hand of Judgment get fully detailed out and how I go about doing it, I'm going to be doing a flame effect on it. I'm going to be doing I might do a little bit of OSL on it as well. All of that will be in a Patreon exclusive. So there you go. Wait a second here. Legionnaire said there's no Game of Thrones tonight.
I think he's actually working. That might be why.
Oh, okay.
I recall him saying he's actually working tonight.
I panicked a little bit there, John. I panicked.
Fair enough.
I don't want to go.
My favorite spoiler is actually there are no more contracts in Mercs.
That's a great spoiler.
That was it. Merc players rejoiced. We're done. It's all good. I can just put all my shit together.
There you go.
No more wishing I could use, Swamp Gobber River Raiders with Connie B. Now I can.
I'm just putting up this guy here to look at him here.
Right.
I may have gone a little crazy with the Agrax Earthshade.
Well, nothing you can't fix.
No, it's going to take some rework, which makes me a little sad. What it'll probably mean is a more aggressive highlighting job.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It'll look fine when I'm done with it, I guess.
Yeah. There's plenty of steps to fix stuff. Nothing you can do can't be undone and fixed. It's all good.
What were you thinking, Minoth John? Come on, literally, what were you thinking? This is some crazy shit. You went crazy with that stuff. It may be talent in a bottle, but you know better than that. Hey, I'm out. Anyway.
So, Joseph X wants to know how deep of an impact will the new focus rule have on the game?
I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be ultra freaking huge. Harbinger, God bless her teenage soul, had no business strolling up the table at defense 16, arm 24. I think it's going to be ridiculous when Terminus can no longer stroll up unimpeded at arm 304 or whatever the hell he was. I think it's going to be really good for the game. I think that you're going to have to play casters the way they're supposed to be played. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about Harbinger, even if she doesn't camp, if she keeps all within 10 inches, she's still a 16-14, which is a good standard stat line.
Yeah. Well, 16, I mean, it's with the focuses and all that kind of stuff, she's in a 16-19.
Yeah, against a couple attacks.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's gonna the effect is everything old is new again is the theme of Mark III, and we're gonna have to see how it goes. Also, Venethrix can die in a fire. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, but he needed it. I mean, Campithrax was actually a thing. People played him for a couple of his cool abilities, but literally it was just I upkeep a spell and camp and wander up the field, and you probably can't kill me unless you're playing Rat.
Yeah, no, that's
Gareth,
very true.
Matter of fact.
That's very true. It's very true.
Or the old Butcher too. or Butcher 3. I'm sorry, Butcher 3 just camping up the field. Oh, my feet turn is I come forward, I kill a bunch of stuff, and then I feet to still have full camp.
Yeah.
But,
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a wonderful thing. It's gonna really, I think, gonna value some of those POW 12s and higher guns. And boy, I'm all perky in the shorts over assaulting Invictors, especially if they get some kind of CRA. They have CRA right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they keep CRA, they're gonna be POW 14s from way the hell downtown.
Well, you can't assault in CRA.
But if they change the rules, no, I'm just
If
kidding.
they change the rules, but there's no reason to because
I'm
that's
just kidding.
broken as
No,
fudge.
no, I know. Anyway, I kind of forgot about that. But there you go. It's good stuff. I'm all in. I have yet to see something in Mark III that isn't good. I think Maug took it in the shorts a little bit harder than he had to, but with the changing of character restricted rules, he had to be dialed down, or for God's sakes, trolls were going to see nothing but Maug in every list.
Yeah, Mog.
They had
But
to.
remember, we haven't seen the whole cards until we get the whole cards, and they still have time to change stuff. Granted, most of the stuff's gone to print, but I'm sure they got a couple things. The early stuff they're feeling out. Like, what's that like? No, okay, let's fix it real quick.
Yeah, I think that Piers Sternum, which is quite a name, it's on another great thing is that the 1-inch reach is a big deal. I'm all in favor of these new reach rules with the 1/2 inch, the 1-inch, the 2-inch, the 4-inch. I'm all in on these things. I think they're great. So
Absolutely, it makes a lot of heavies. Even if they didn't change the way the heavies work otherwise, a lot of heavies get new lease on life with an extra 1/2 inch of threat. Makes because as it stood, something like the Pharaoh only had the tiniest difference. It was a 1/2 inch difference between it and the Stalker for threat, and then you add in an extra 1/2 inch top of that, a full inch. Now you're starting to talk about legitimate threat.
yeah. So I think overall, I think that Mark III is going to really do a lot of wonderful stuff for the game. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's hit some old ones now. Adam Mist wants to know: does painting white get easier with the consumption of Kraken? And are the next day results worth the painting and booze bender?
Painting white?
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
No, it does not get easier with the consumption of Kraken.
No.
It really doesn't get easier.
No.
You just got to knuckle down, learn your stuff, and expect it to be a pain in the ass every time you do it.
Painting white is hard. I mean, I've got these. What I've got here for the whites that are on this model, I have a lot of either Menoth white base, or I have Jackbone or something like that. And then I Agrax Earthshade it. And then what I do is I come back with the base color that I painted it with, and then I'll come up higher with lighter colors than that. A lot of wet palette goes into the next stage of this, and it's the only thing you can do is just keep trying. It's important these models look nice. We all want our armies to look beautiful and stuff like that, but there are opportunities to grow in our talents as well. So try some stuff. I never would have created that Glacier King if I hadn't tried some other things back in the day on other models. So, and the Glacier King looks beautiful. I never would have tried what I did on my Earthbreaker if I hadn't tried my God, what the hell they call those guys? The 3 dwarfs, that magic dwarfs with the fire sticks.
Tactical Arcanist Corps.
Them guys, yeah. But thank you. You know me so well, John. That was the worst description in fucking history.
No, there's only so many dwarf models in the game. You narrowed it down to like dwarf 3. I know what models those are.
Dwarfs with fire sticks, and and so
Thermomaces, same thing.
Yeah. So there you go, and you got to try this stuff, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You try it again next time. So
yeah.
Anyhow, boom.
All right, let's skip to Brian Skinner. He says, "How OP are Mercs going to be now that Magnus is the Kingmaker?" And he also wants to know why plastic steelheads for plasticness. And the good one is, will you be altering the hardcore casual Patreon scenarios for Mark III?
I think we have to. I think we've got
Absolutely.
to. I think we've got to. I was talking about this during the pre-ramble, which if you're a patron, you already know about this. actually, you wouldn't unless you. But anyway, regardless.
If you're a patron and you're listening to this recorded, you already know about it because you listened to that first, right?
So exactly, it's once again Inception. We've had the hardcore casual scenarios out for almost a year now, and we were talking about a lot of similar topics on the joy of playing with DC and Jeff Easterwood, and so we're going to release the first set of the hardcore casuals for kind of general consumption on PW Menoth John, which if you're wondering about it, here it is. Boom. I'm going to make it flash again. There you go. I hope nobody has any kind of epilepsy or anything like that because I don't want to have anybody have a seizure. So we're going to release it up there. But then I think it's time, John, that we, once Mark III drops and we have a little bit of time to kind of consume what it means, I think it's time for more hardcore casual scenarios. And that means a contest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. We can probably get the guys who did the original scenarios to update them a little bit for Mark III, and then we can start the new contest after that even.
And I think that means that we need to have that big box that I've got over on the prize shelf as a gifto for that one, don't you?
Absolutely.
So if in case you guys are wondering what that means, this is one to wait for, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 10th anniversary Hordes box that we got from David Carl. He gave it to the show as a promotional item for some of the sponsorship with Clockwork Phoenix, and we are going to give it away as a prize. So watch for the Hardcore Casual Mark III edition contest, and that is like $100 value?
I don't remember. I only bought half of it.
It was big ass value. It's a shit ton of value for $0, and all you have to do is come up with something compelling, and we'll get you in the running for it, and it'll be super sweet and totally legit.
But you got a Legion buddy. You two can combine your forces to make one mega scenario.
I know, right?
And then split the prize.
Boom. So you got in that box you've got Chromac 2, that thieving bastard, with his ill-gotten gains with the Wrathrock, and
Look, at least he can't throw it.
Yeah, fuck that guy. And then we also have the two girls, the twins. Yes, together as
the
they
other
are.
twins.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, the show's going downhill fast. So we're gonna have that as a contest for the Hardcore Casual Mark III. I just thought of that, John. You brought it up, and we're gonna make it happen.
Absolutely. And as to the rest of his questions, how OP are Mercs going to be? Nah, they're going to be fine.
Yep.
Let's be honest. If they make Mercs OP, then I'll be a happy camper, and they made a horrible, horrible mistake.
Yeah.
They ain't doing that.
Yeah. Guys, this is they're resetting the clock. Everybody's going to get to be OP until somebody unlocks something stupid that they didn't think of.
And then they get to be OP until you unlock the way to deal with it.
Yep. So it's, this is back to the good old days of 2009 when they did this last time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then final part, why plastic steelheads for plastic NIS? Because NIS are a character unit, you're only ever going to buy one. Steelheads, the minimum unit is actually 16 models. You didn't know that. Minimum steelheads is 16 models. A normal size unit is actually 20, and then a max size unit is 30. That's just how the rules go.
That's right, because, man, those guys are cheap, and they do good work for their price range.
People forget how good those guys are.
Yeah, they're terrific.
I mean, God.
And then you mix in a little bit of Cav into the mix, and then...
Oh, my God. And now Cav, all going to be FA2? I'm staring at the box of Steelhead Cavalry on the shelf at the local store.
Yeah,
I might be getting that soon.
I've got FA2 of exactly one cavalry unit, and that's Tuffalos. So, we'll see.
Absolutely. All right. Andrew J. Giordino wants to know, what cards are you most excited to check out once Mark III hits?
Boy, I'm going to tear through the I'm probably going to tear through the Protectorate ones. And I say that right now today because we haven't seen the spoiler section yet.
Yes.
When Protectorate gets spoiled, there's some cards that I would go to first. And the first one I go to is Res 1. Resnick 1 has always been my homeboy since day one. Amon is another one that I want to go take a look at because Amon got love going from Mark 1 to Mark 2. People don't remember when he was a Focus 5 caster.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he sucked as a Focus 6.
As one of the few guys who has a Focus 5 caster, I know what that feels like.
Yeah, it was no bueno. Uh, synergy with a Focus 5 caster, that's not really synergy now, is it?
Oh, Focus 5 caster with one free focus to all your jacks. That's not bad.
Lots better. So they'll figure something out to make him really good. And, I think it's that the other one that I want to see is because they said they were going to be buffing the heck out of battle engines. And as a protectorate player, our battle engine was just fine the way he was. And if they're going to buff him, that's going to be pretty crazy talk. So I expect what you'll see is the rest of them will get a whole lot better, and he'll probably stay real same. And that's okay.
True, it was pretty much the best battle engine. Yeah, it was the best battle engine, and it wasn't. I don't think it was that close either.
It wasn't even close. I mean, it was the ability to boost stuff the way it could with basically no penalty. You could park a couple of 1-point solos behind him and just repair him until hell froze over.
Yeah, well, you had to roll dice, so there was a chance in there. I had to fail some rolls, and I've removed a great many of those battle engines with jacks fairly easily, but that's not going to be happening so much as in the future.
If a jack gets to your battle engine, you've already lost. I mean, that's just not something that you let happen. It's a gun platform, and so you make sure that it stays away from the heavy hitters. But cock is going to be stupid.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool.
Yeah.
The first card I'm going to check out is McBain because McBain.
Mm-hmm.
Second would be Madhammer. Then beyond that, it's the Hallmark faction. But no, Rutger and Terran because those are the first two models I painted. It was them, McBain, Darius. Those are my first 4 models painted. So
yeah, well, there you go.
3 of those are some of the first ones I'm going to check out.
Merc players, prepare to have something bad happen to Earthbreaker and Thor.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, let's be honest. It was never going to stay that way. And
no.
I mean, the thing is, though, people don't realize. They're like, oh, it's broken. It's actually not broken. It's only broken if your caster has no armor because then I can boost all the hits. If you actually have armor stuff, and I'm not going after your caster, it's actually decidedly fair because PAL 13 is shit.
Oh, it's garbage. It was the ability for that sucker to go ahead and knock somebody on their ass, and then you could drill them from here until next Tuesday.
I used it more as a melee piece. I can't tell you the amount of times Gorton drug in 2 heavies, and Earthbreaker just killed both of them.
Yeah.
That's hard to get back from.
Yeah,
it puts your opponent in some very, very crazy, like, I better kill your caster or I straight lose.
Yeah, Strength of Granite Earthbreaker is a thing.
What are you talking about? PAL 24 fully boosted? That's not a thing.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what. Some of the dirtiest sex on the table I've ever had is frickin' is Bullwinkle all fully charged up the way he's possible to get there. And and now that battle's gone, he'll never be that way again, which means I need to trot him out at least one more time just to feel the love.
Yeah, you got to get him fully loaded and into something.
POW 26, POW 28 if you do it right. Oh shit balls. That's some good stuff. Plus, I'm sorry. I'm dice plus 10? Yeah. Cool beans, bitches. Let's go.
Yeah, but I'm actually looking forward to Earthbreaker being takeable in both lists if you wanted to. Right now you can't because without Thor, it's just not that good.
No, it's not.
I mean, if you got the right stuff and you can leverage it right, you might have Madhammer with an Earthbreaker with no Thor as a melee piece because giving it +2 speed and strength is really good, but it's still not great at that point.
So times are changing. We've got a whole new game coming. Mark 3 is going to be just as different as Mark 2 as Mark 2 was of Mark 1. And Mark 1 we look back on now and go, how the fuck did we play that game?
I don't know how you played that stuff.
That game was
I've told stories
stupid.
of PG Bowie coming by for our role-playing sessions and telling me about the game back when I was working for GW going, why do you play that shit?
Yeah.
early steamroller scenarios where
We're
like,
hot
oh,
garbage.
you do this and this and this, you kill them on the first turn. I'm like, why do you play that damn game?
Yeah. Yeah. Mark 1 was hot garbage.
Yeah.
And it's
But it was
funny.
fun hard garbage for at least half of it.
And you know, the funny part is, John, when the last book for War Machine came out, we all looked at each other and went, well, this one's going to trigger Mark 3. Because it was exactly the kind of book that caused that Legends was, and Legends was the last of the Mark 1 books, and it was all hyper powered nonsense and walls of text.
And then the Hordes book came out, and we were like, that's some of that stuff's not good.
Yeah,
We realized that was just placeholder. Like, hey, is this good enough? No. All right, let's fix it for Mark 3.
yeah. I mean, I'm still not sure with the spoilers I've seen from Beast Packs that they
I
still
haven't seen any.
They talked about the blight wasps.
I remember that action. Now you say it.
Like plus
But
one
not really
defense.
in general, but
I'm still not sure if I understand them, and I'm not sure they do either. But we'll see.
that's right. I'm not sure my factions have them, so
Fact. Beast Pack. I wonder what Beast Packs for trolls would be. Bunch of little whelps running around.
I am happy that they didn't just remove Lessers and make them all Beast Packs. I thought that was a possibility.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, should we do some movies and shit?
Movies and shit. It's that time.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna put up the special. You know, when the media section comes on, we bring on the media section.
Oh, I actually watched, well, 3.5 movies and then parts of 3 other movies.
Holy
Oh.
shitballs! You were on a fire.
Oh yeah, I can give you so I'll go in reverse order because today I'm trying to watch something and I want to watch something extra crappy I can comment about because the other movies I watched were all stuff I've seen before and reviewed. So I'm poking through Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, let me try this movie. And I give them all 10 to 20 minutes. If they don't grab me, I'm out. And I feel like 20 minutes is more than enough.
Oh, that's yeah.
I feel like 10 is probably it. The first one lasted about 10 and I'm like,
Yeah.
this looks like this is some YA bullshit. I'm out. Then next one lasted about 7, and it was, and even with Danny Trejo, and it was dark and very unsavory, unsavory content.
Oh, that's too
And I'm
bad.
like, I don't want to watch that. I'm out.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then the third one lasted exactly 3 minutes because the acting was horrific. The sets were bad. It was bad. I didn't even get to the credits of that movie.
Wow.
I was like, I'm out. And I settled upon an Asylum movie, which you know is always a sign of good quality. It's called Avengers Grimm.
Oh my.
And if you're expecting a combination of sort of fairy tales plus Avengers,
Not it.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's Rumpelstiltskin is Loki. Like seriously, he's Loki. He's trying hard. Casper Van Diem, he's not Tom Hiddleston
No.
at all. And then the princesses are all the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah, and then the princesses plus Red Riding Hood, who's the Hawkeye. Yes, she gets mind controlled by the bad guy. Seriously.
Wow.
Oh yeah, a portal opens up and Rumpelstiltskin's bad guys start coming through it. That actually happens.
Holy cow! They just ripped off the entire plot.
They did. Just it was with princesses instead of superheroes. And Red Riding Hood as Hawkeye.
Man.
She may actually have been So actually I think Cinderella was the most likable character in the entire movie. Snow White was a bitch and I was happy when she died. Spoiler! Because you're not gonna watch this fucking movie. Man, it was not it was not good, but it was watchable. And that was my fourth, so I figured, I'm like, all right, it's not terrible bad, so I have to give it a chance. But
Okay, so how many shots of Kraken are we talking about here, John?
oh god, hold on, I haven't Lou Ferrigno's in it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh my.
Okay, no, wait. He's -1 shots of Kraken all by himself. This is the fact he's
Okay.
there.
I will factor into my review.
Okay.
Casper Van Diem's half a shot of Kraken added.
Yeah.
No other big actor or actress. the ladies were at least attractive, and boy, they walked around in modern stuff that was not very princessy.
Well, God bless him.
Um, eh, it's watchable. Uh, 4 shots of Kraken, and that counts all the
Oh,
bonuses and negatives.
holy shit balls! We were close to good old trick of Star Wars there for a second.
Yeah, it's the thing is this not good. You like when you take a good story arc like Avengers, because it's good. It boom 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 boom. It's pretty good flowing story arc,
Yep.
and you just add unlikable characters, and that's sort of the problem. The most likable character wasn't even that likable. You're just like, this is not good. Oh my. So yeah, 4 shots of Kraken. I do not recommend watching it, though it is for free on Amazon Prime if you're that bored.
I watched Deadpool.
I've not watched my Deadpool yet. Creekins has a showing tomorrow at her place if I get off work in time. So you get a bunch of friends together to watch it.
Deadpool was amazing again.
Yeah.
God, that movie just makes me giggle the whole while I'm watching it. It's so perfect.
Absolutely.
Go buy Deadpool on DVD to ensure future Deadpools, even though it's the highest rated R-rated movie ever. Cable's
that's not involves Christ.
okay, and we have and we already know we're getting Cable in the next one.
Yep. And Stephen Lang, who looks like Cable, says he'd love to play Cable. You got to make this happen, Fox. Come on.
Was Stephen Lang
He
the guy
wants-
from Avatar?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Fucking
He
cast
wants
him.
to play Cable. He wants to be in the movie. Make it happen.
Yeah, cast him
This-
now.
This is how amazing movies are made.
Yep.
People want to do the character.
Yep, and he will do it justice. He will be every ounce of hard ass that Cable is. It'll be amazing. Anyway, so I watched that, and I did that on a day of sanity that I owed myself. And it was amazing that I took that day of sanity because I needed it.
Well, I had Friday off nominally to go to ECR. I didn't cancel the day when the event canceled. I spent the first part of the morning doing nothing. It was everything I wanted it to be. And then the end of it, after the camera shenanigans you can read about on our website, I went over to El Marshall's place and we watched Expendables 3. Still way better than it had any right to be,
Ooh.
and probably the best one of that particular group.
Can I interject for a second about Expendables?
Sure.
So I went to see Neil deGrasse Tyson live in Milwaukee on Thursday or Wednesday, one of those 2 days. Did you know? And he was doing a thing on A Scientist Goes to the Movies. In Expendables 2, Dolph Lundgren writes out what he says is Einstein's general theory of relativity or special, one of those two. One of his two.
Yeah.
And it's this like fancy equation and stuff. And it was correct. And it was Dolph Lundgren doing it because Dolph Lundgren has a degree in chemistry and a master's in chemical engineering. That guy is legit. He's my new hero.
Well, if you remember when I reviewed that movie, I felt like that plan should have worked and got them out. It would have been a better narrative, and you could have avoided more Bruce Willis because more puns was not what that movie needed. More, but in
Anyway,
any case,
back to
so,
Expendables 3.
Expendables 3, still good. Check it out.
I like the Expendables series.
Yeah, the second one got a little too much, a little too much with the quips, let's say. And then after that, we watched Ant-Man.
Oh, fucking legit.
Still amazing. And Yellow Jacket's growing on me as one of the better Marvel villains, which is not saying much because Marvel villains are unfortunately kind of lackluster.
Yeah, they're a little two-dimensional.
And I'd started the week with watching the most recent Three Musketeers movie again, and that movie is super fun. It knows what it is. And that's about that. You got to go into a movie, and if you're not open-minded about it, you're gonna have a problem because sometimes you just gotta like a movie for what it is, not what you think it should be. Now sometimes you get in trouble if it's trying to be something more and fails horribly. See Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Which I actually heard the best review of. God, what's the name of it? OneOfUs.net does reviews of movies, and their review of Batman vs Superman, basically, one of the guys, I forget who it was, mentioned the ultimate reason why that movie didn't work. It's because they haven't earned it. Because if you look, Civil War works, and it's amazing because Marvel's earned it over all these movies. They've set all the groundwork. You like these characters because every single one of those characters, with the exception of Black Panther, has been in multiple movies.
Yeah.
Some of them like a half dozen movies. So you care about these characters, what actually means something. And then, but DC does this, and while it's known characters, they didn't build enough backstory.
There's
They
not
didn't
enough.
earn it.
Well, and there's not enough continuity with the different versions of the characters. They've changed up. I mean, Superman has changed so radically since Christopher Reeve's portrayal
Yeah.
that and frankly Batman has too. I mean, you go all the way back to the Prince Batman with
Keaton, yeah.
yeah, with Keaton. And if they wanted to reboot the series at the Dark Knight, that's fine. Stay with that particular universe, and they haven't.
Well, they can't because you can't have superheroes in that universe, which is why last week when they asked us about what I think the best DC movie is Batman Begins, because you could say Batman Begins evolved into the Batman that you see in Batman vs Superman, so you'd be like, oh, I'm okay with that. That could happen.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the problem. I feel like Batman vs Superman could have been the best it could have been as a fourth movie. You had to have Man of Steel. You could have had a single Batman movie and then a second Superman movie to make us actually give a fuck about this Superman.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the problem. And it's funny that this movie has done so much money and is still considered a failure.
Yeah.
And it's making them rethink their plans.
Well, and let's
start getting those.
Let's be very, very clear here. I mean, what you got is a bunch of suits rethinking this stuff. I mean, it's suits make bad decisions.
They're playing
like
catch
that.
up.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Because in business you can play catch up, because you don't have the same problems you do in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie you can't play catch up because you're rushing it. You're not earning it.
Yeah.
And I felt that way in role playing games where I've rushed the story and didn't earn it, so to speak. It really spoke to me as why that movie failed. And I think we're seeing more superhero movies that fail for a multitude of reasons, because early reviews from X-Men Apocalypse are in.
Jesus fucking
and they're
Christ.
not stellar.
No.
They're very mediocre.
Yeah.
Not bad, mediocre.
Yeah.
But that being said, don't let that stop you from seeing that movie if you want to see it. If you want to see it, just temper your expectations going, okay, this isn't getting the best reviews. And granted, a lot of the early guys, they're all movie critics.
Yeah.
I mean, only one site that I know of that has very big comic guys saw it, and they were very middling reviews, very, 4 to 7 reviews, and the 7 was just one guy. They averaged to about a 5 and change. So don't expect amazing.
I think Ant-Man has I think Ant-Man's was helped a lot by you went into it going, what can I possibly expect from an Ant-Man movie? But then once you peel that back, there's a genuinely fun story there. Everything about it is okay.
Everyone plays their part at least competently.
Yes, they do.
Some of them shine more than others. Michael Pena, that guy is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the outtakes from that movie, someone mentions something, he's on it and just going with it. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, that's a good actor at that point.
Yeah, that whole thing. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, eventually there's going to be a Marvel movie that's going to be, not great. I mean, worse than Thor: The Dark World or the Hulk or Iron Man 2 or 3, depending on what your particular worst is. Let's be honest, it's going to happen. Probably.
Yep.
But it's going to be held up by the fact that, Marvel's taking their time. I mean, it doesn't seem like they are, but they really are. They're developing the story. I mean, we knew from the first Avengers movie that the end game was the Infinity War, and it's still years out.
Yeah. And what did I just see here, John, that something with Infinity Wars getting rearranged or something like that?
Well, they're getting renamed. They're not going to call it Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. They're going to have real names for it, which is cool.
That's fine.
And they canceled the Inhumans, which it makes sense because they had to fit Spider-Man and Captain Marvel in there, because you have to get a female superhero out there in her own movie. You got to.
Yep.
There's so many good Marvel female superheroes. I mean, obviously Wonder Woman totally deserves their own movie, and I'm actually still looking forward to that movie, even though DC hasn't been exactly lighting it up. I'm still looking forward to that. I feel like
I'd
that could be good.
I'd be more than ready to watch that movie because I'm ready for a strong lead female superhero movie in a big way. Well, shit, John. Here we are.
Yeah, the end of another podcast.
I know, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put this back up over here using all those transition techniques. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at some possible changes to the studio here for the next show. We're going to see about doing maybe some more fancy stuff. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't care if it works. It'll maybe work. It'll be super sweet and totally legit either way. But, 90 minutes is coming past. Daenerys Targaryen's about to join us on HBO, and the Mother of Dragons will always take priority here on the Painting with Men Off John show. I'm going to play the music, John.
Do it.
So, there it is. Honestly, John, the end music that we play here, the Bob Ross music, it's better than yoga. Especially from the chick I take yoga from on Sundays. That girl wants to kill me. And so, everybody out there watching us there and Painting with Men Off John Land, this was a show. It's one of them. We have more. It's 107 or something like that. This is 107, right? Anyway.
107, what it says on the screen.
Yeah. That's of the modern era, of course. There's more. There's a whole year's worth more that we don't even count. That's how.
Like comics, occasionally we reboot.
Yeah, we're so fucking proud of our show, we don't even count like a whole year's worth. The rest of these guys, they count stuff up. They don't even know what they're talking about. Ladies and
They
gentlemen.
had to do 3 a week to get crazy numbers.
I know, right? Whatever. All right, so on behalf of my mighty right hand, that guy right there, Mr. John Spencer, I'm your host. We're going to finish on a high-level note right here. Woohoo! So we'll see you next Sunday here on the Painting with Men Off John show. Good night, everybody.